Alright, my name is Zachary Bush. The date is June 11th, 2023. Here's my name, student ID number, and course ID. I am making this video for my not test results, but experiment results on motility media and motility in general. It was a fairly simple experiment. Take a swab, stick it in the motility media, pull it out, wait 48 hours, see if it spreads, wait a couple more, wait like another day if it doesn't spread, or if you don't see any growth. I made a mistake because of my previous experiences with struggles in having bacteria or samples grow. I, instead of sticking straight in, I swirled a little bit to make sure some of that bacteria got in there, because I was so worried that if I stuck that in there, bacteria didn't get stuck in the motility media, and I pulled it out and I waited 48 hours, then another 24 hours, I would not have an experiment and I wouldn't have enough time to redo it. So because of that, I wasn't able to create the look that the experiment was supposed to have, but I think I accomplished the goal. Right? I was able to understand, okay, E. coli, it is motile. It has flagellum. It can move. Whereas SE, it is not motile. It does not have flagellum. So in that way, I think it was a success. It was a success. It was a success. But in the way of making it look the way it should have, I don't think it was a success. Let me pull up pictures and show you what I mean. So here's the SE, as you can see right there. So it's harder to see on the phone, but in person it's a lot easier to tell, like, okay, this did not move. This is from me swirling. It's a lot harder to tell. It looks like from the picture that it is motile. I was able to tell from the vial that it was not. But in that way the picture is kind of misleading. Let me show you the E. coli. Like this. The E. coli, on the other hand, as you can see, it's like there's two big clumps and then it spreads from there. Almost looks like a snitch up top. But yeah, so those two big clumps, you can tell because when you were able to move the vial and go up, down, rotate it, you're able to tell all the ways that it moved, and in that way it was much easier to determine whether the bacteria was motile. So because of that, I was much more confident, like, okay, the E. coli is motile, the SE is not. So because of that, it was easier than it looks in the pictures. The pictures don't really do it justice because of um, the many ways that the bacteria moves in the media. So in that way, it's a bit of a bummer, but I think I was able to really get the gist of the experiment, really understand the foundations of the experiment. For real-world usage of this experiment, real-world usage would be in identifying samples. So if you were to dip a sample into motility media, leave it, let it incubate, and then if you saw that there was growth in the motility media and you found out that the sample was motile, that right there could help you drastically in figuring out, okay, what is this sample? Is it a motile bacteria? Is it a motile fungus? Is it in that, in that way it would help a lot. That's the main real world usage for it. But yeah, so hopefully I covered enough for this video. Um, there wasn't a whole lot to dive into because of how simple the experiment was, but I think I dove into it and really kind of gave the gist of it. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you have a great day, and thank you.